Alright, what is up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I wanted to take you through one of my typical days studying for step 1. So the past few weeks have been pretty monotonous and not very exciting from like a day-to-day perspective, but I still think it's important to show like one of my typical days of studying so you get a sense of what it's like being dedicated. Got up today around 7, got ready, and now we're about to head to a coffee shop. We have been sort of flip-flopping between studying at our apartment and going out into the world to get like a change of scenery, just because if we studied at home all day every day we would go insane. So this is actually the first coffee shop that we went to when we moved up here. We wanted to get out, try something new. Mackenzie found it and we've loved it so much that we haven't tried anywhere else. There's really just no reason why we have needed to go try a different shop because all the staff are super friendly, a cool place with plants and art and a lot of natural light, which is great. There's plenty of seating and outlets to plug in because that is usually one of the biggest issues with coffee shops that we find is they might be really small, not having a lot of seating. And even if they do, it might, not be worker friendly. Their coffee is awesome. They have really nice pastries too. They seem to have sort of like an Asian influence. They do a lot of different matchas. Their big thing they do is an ube latte, and some of their other seasonal stuff definitely has some Asian inspiration. So because they have so many different really good coffees to try, we're like, we might as well just go back to the same spot, try something new. So we're gonna head there and study there probably for the morning. We usually will only stay there for like 4 or 5 hours max, just because we eventually have to leave and go eat something. But yeah, that's kind of the plan right now. In terms of what I have to do, I have 120 practice questions to do because I'm doing something called the Free 120, which is a free resource that the USMLE gives out, which is nice. Not a lot of their stuff is free. And it's just kind of a test for your knowledge. It apparently has a very good like predictive value for the real deal. And, people who take the test say that the Free 120 is probably the closest thing to the actual test you'll ever do during your prep. So it'll be interesting to see how I do on that. And yeah, that'll probably take me the whole time that we're there because I like to sort of do a set of 40 and then go over it immediately. And that takes a very long time. So we'll go do that and I will check in later. All right, so it's about 1 o'clock. We just got back from the coffee shop. I was able to get through my whole practice exam. I haven't gone over it yet. I wanted to wait until I got home and got to my desk so I could use an external monitor because it's just a little bit easier to review tests like that. After my test, I did a little bit of review, just like reading through a PDF. But other than that, pretty productive morning. I ended up doing very well on the practice exam. It was the highest score that I've gotten on any sort of assessment for step 1. So feels good going into test day, which is only in a few days. So yeah, like I said, right around 1 o'clock, we came home just because we got pretty hungry. So gonna make some lunch, relax a little bit, and then get back to it. We were debating going to the gym, but we're both very sore from the past few days working out. So we're gonna take the day off, just make it a very focused study day. Usually days that we don't go to a coffee shop, we will get up and go to the gym first thing in the morning just to still get out of the house. During dedicated, you don't have a lot of free time to like get out and do different things, like run a bunch of errands, go to the gym, all that kind of stuff. So kind of flip-flop between our one outing, whether it is going to study at a coffee shop or getting to the gym. It's still definitely important to do those sorts of things, get your body moving, because if you're just sitting in your room for 12 hours studying, you're gonna go crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much it for right now. Gonna have some lunch and then I will check in later. All right, it is a little bit later now after dinner. So since the last time I checked in, just went over my test. It's really important for me to try to go over whatever practice questions I'm doing the same day. just because it's still really fresh in your mind. And you don't have to like reread the whole question and sort of interpret again what is going on before actually getting to whether you got the answer right or not. Sometimes it can be really difficult to do that because most of the like actual practice exams are 200 questions. So, trying to do 200 questions in the morning and then review 200 in the afternoon is really hard. So sometimes when I have that many questions to go over, maybe I won't get to the last 50 and I'll do the rest the next day. But for the most part, I try to get them all done the same day. So yeah, after lunch, I did that, then did a little bit more just like light review, going through PDFs. The one PDF I've been going through today is called Melman High Yield Arrows. So on these tests, between shelf exams, step 1, step 2, there's always these arrow questions or like increase decrease questions where they give you the vignette, so you need to kind of know what's going on. It's like, oh, this is a hyperthyroid picture. And then they'll give you a bunch of different lab values or like physiological parameters like cardiac output, stroke volume, partial pressure of oxygen, just like random stuff. There's usually at least 3 or 4 different variables, and then there'll just be every combination of, oh, TSH is up, T4 is down. So those can be kind of tough to work through, and they're so common that it's good to do a lot of practice with those kinds of questions, and it just honestly helps your understanding of the normal physiology. For those kind of questions, it's important to not get in the habit of just like memorizing, oh, hyperthyroidism is these lab values. You want to try to think through the actual reasons why and the feedback mechanisms and all that kind of stuff. Just because on tests, they try to remove buzzwords nowadays. Just because on tests, they try to remove buzzwords that are just gonna like trigger a random memory of an answer. So because of that, you need to actually know the reasons why so you can interpret what is going on and be able to catch the answer that is, saying the buzzword just in a different way. So after doing all that studying, made dinner, and then by then I was pretty much done studying for the day. I always like to plan out sort of what I want to get done, and that way I'm not like wasting any time trying to think about, oh, what should I do next? So it's a little bit more efficient during the day, and usually I try to be done by the time we get done with dinner. But sometimes I need to push it a little longer and I'm studying until like 8 or 9 o'clock. But yeah, for the most part, I'm done at like 7. So that's how it worked out today. And then I have just been relaxing, watching the college football playoff game. So that's pretty much it for the day. Mackenzie will still probably be studying for a few more hours. She seems to study a little bit later than I do. But yeah, that is kind of it for the day. Not the most glamorous, but this is just what it's like being dedicated.